Well, I'm out here to support the women, and who are women who are very likely to lose reproductive choice in a number of states, with the decision that's expected to come out within the next year, this year, at the Supreme Court. What people need to remember is this will not outlaw abortion nationally. Some people are afraid that that's what it means. What Roe v. Wade said was it overrode state laws that were banning abortion. At the time, there were a few states that did allow for abortion, and at the time, and reproductive choice, it basically overrode state laws. What we have is a number of states like Texas and Mississippi that have laws, and these laws are at the Supreme. That's following the fire truck. What we have are two laws that are at the Supreme Court: Mississippi, which outright bans abortion, and Texas, which has this crazy private way of enforcing it. That is a way to get around some of the other laws that have been overturned, and but what they're expecting is that Roe v. Wade is essentially going to be overturned, which means that they can basically states will be allowed to ban abortion at pretty much any time, even maybe even right after conception. We'll see. Just completely overturn it, and completely, because that's the way the majority is talking right now.
So on the Supreme Court, we're looking at a division of like 3-6. Is that right?
Yeah, 3-6, or at least 5-4. Who knows if Roberts will go as far as some of the other justices?
Right.
But so that's what we're talking about is basically saying, first of all, it's a states' rights issue. There's no such thing as privacy in the Constitution. You need to pass the constitutional amendment if you want a right to privacy. It's not stated. It's a real archaic view of constitutional rights, as if the 14th Amendment doesn't exist, as if the 9th Amendment is just repetitious with the 10th Amendment. I can go into the details there about how Roe v. Wade was passed, but it's a long explanation. But basically, even though the right to privacy was not explicitly stated in the Constitution, Roe v. Wade plurality held that it's basically implied, and that the 9th Amendment basically holds that even if we didn't explicitly state something in the Bill of Rights, that doesn't mean that it's not protected. And then the 14th Amendment basically states that that any rights that are held by the people are going to be enforced against the states, and due process, and so basically that's the whole concept's going to be overturned if it's not explicitly stated in the Constitution. That it's not going to be enforced, and that's radical even beyond just abortion rights, by the way. But we'll see the fallout for that. So anyway, so the effect of this is that there are about 10 to 15 states with locked and loaded anti-abortion laws that will go into effect immediately. And probably another 10 to 15 states that will pass laws that effectively ban abortion, and that will mean that states like California, which have a right to privacy amendment in our Constitution, will be getting a lot of traffic of abortion here, and the services here are going to have to get ready for that. And it's going to be like the Underground Railroad. It'll be above ground, but it's going to be like that. People are going to have to organize to raise funds for women who can't afford it, and just hope that they can get here in time. Because in Texas, doctors can't even advise them on it, without getting into trouble.
Yeah, you partly are answering my next question was, how is this going to affect women in California, or more specifically, healthcare providers in California that offer abortion care?
Yeah, it's going to overload the services, so people are going to really have to fundraise to help to increase the services in states like California, and fundraise to help women get here. And fundraise to because that doesn't mean the women can keep their jobs. I mean, this is going to be a hardship on women. I mean, women with money will probably be okay, most of them, although not all of them. It's still a big impact on their lives. But women without money, it's really going to impact them. And so all kinds of money is going to have to be raised with that. Eventually, I think what we have to look at is a right to privacy constitutional amendment that will forever protect people from this. But that's a long way off. You need 3/4 of the states, 2/3 of Congress, and that's a long way off. But we got to start fighting for that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Eric, Kirk. Thank you so much for your input.
You bet.
Bye.
Good luck.